What's up, everybody, and welcome to TV Captive Presents, the ASOTV podcast, as seen on TV, for the originals, episode 17, Moon over Bourbon Street. This week, Haley's pack is no longer cursed, Elijah attempts to take over and make peace with all the factions, and Monique is the biggest, most gigantic bitch on the planet. But before that, I'm your host, Mike, and joining me this week, someone who usually sits in this spot, but we've switched sides. Give it a shot. Try it out. Is Dom. Hi, Dom.
I've joined the dark side.
He's joined the dark side.
I'm broadcasting live from New Orleans.
The dark side of New Orleans. It's not that dark.
No.
It is nighttime, so it would be dark there.
Yeah, see? We got like a dusk going on right now.
Yeah, exactly. So, loud noises. What'd you think of this episode?
Stuff and things. I thought it was a pretty interesting episode. I'm still kind of upset about Rebecca.
Yeah.
I'm devastated. Like, they barely even mentioned her.
It was just
Did they even mention her?
Once in the beginning, that tidbit, like,
Yeah, the voiceover. We haven't heard a voiceover since I think it was the pilot episode. So that was a nice, refreshing kind of change of pace there.
Yeah, agreed. So it's just, Rebecca's, I miss our sister as much as you do, and really that was all that was mentioned.
Yeah, I don't know. Klaus went back to his painting, which was kind of cool, and Marcel and I don't know. Marcel kind of got over Rebecca real fast.
Yeah, that was a little shocking.
Yeah,
but the big thing at the beginning of this episode, we find out a month has passed. Pretty much a month has passed since the last episode. Were you expecting some kind of time jump like that?
I was not. I was kind of expecting it to pick up immediately after, and them kind of picking up the pieces of Rebecca, like, the aftermath of that, and like the little conflict between Elijah and Klaus, and time jump is just like there was no time like between. What did we have, like a 1 week break? Do we even have a break?
Yeah, we didn't have a break.
No, there was no break. There's no break, so there's a time jump. Like, it's huge. It would have made a little more sense if they skipped out on an episode somewhere. But, yeah, I don't know.
No, just popped in. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, yeah, it's been a month. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. So that whole montage of everything happening, a month. I like it. But in that montage, we see that vampires and witches are pretty much at war with each other, more or less. Haley breaks the curse on her pack, so that little spell that Celeste gave her worked perfectly. No problems.
I was surprised. I thought there was going to be a little something with that, but turned out...
Yeah.
What's her name? The witch?
Celeste?
No, the other... yeah, I guess it was Celeste, wasn't it? Yeah, Celeste stayed true to her word.
Yeah.
Which really surprising, because she said... Her original statement was she did it to make Elijah miserable. And, I mean, we're getting a little hint of that, because Haley's standing up to Elijah. She comes up when he's in the middle of his meeting and demands the werewolves have a spot at the table, so...
Exactly.
You could kind of already see that wedge is getting there.
Alright, so we'll just skip right to that spot at the table. Elijah is... Klaus is... Okay, we'll start with Klaus. Klaus is not really doing anything. He's just chilling out, painting, making nice, pretty pictures, and really not running the city or the French Quarter that he fought so hard to take over. So now Elijah basically steps in and says, if you're not going to do anything, I will. And he calls everybody together for a peace talk. Everybody but Haley and her werewolves, who she just finds out randomly. What'd you think of that, him leaving the werewolves out? Was this an afterthought, or was this calculated?
For Klaus, I'm pretty sure it was calculated. I think he was sitting back intentionally not doing that, knowing his brother would not include them. And it seemed like Klaus had this planned from the beginning, that he was going to kind of be the savior to the werewolves, go behind their back and gain allies that way. So, yeah, I definitely think this was a calculated maneuver on Klaus's part.
Okay, well, also, speaking of Klaus, while we're on that topic, in the beginning, or towards the beginning, we see that him and Genevieve are a thing, as in a happy, sexy time thing. Was this a shock? I mean, shouldn't they be mortal enemies or something like that?
Yeah, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, though, right?
Yeah, I guess that saying holds true. I was kind of like, what? You man whore, what the hell?
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's taking his sister leaving pretty badly, and he's covering
mm,
up the best way he can. So, as much
that works.
as Klaus has had rivals with his siblings and stuff, he cares about them. So he's definitely hurting with Rebecca gone.
hmm Okay, so let's get to the witches here. We see the three harvest girls, as they're being called here. Davina, Monique, and third supporting unnamed witch character whose name I don't think was ever mentioned.
I think it was at some point, but not enough for us to pay much attention to it.
True. They're practicing magic, bringing dead roses back to life, or, just rejuvenating them. Monique and the other girl succeed, and Davina fails miserably. So, after that, why do you think Monique is being such a self-righteous bitch?
Well, before that whole scene with the flowers and everything, I very reminiscent of American Horror Story's recent season, Coven. I just got a really big Coven vibe off of that whole scene there. Yeah, but Monique's kind of being a bitch because she thinks she's better than everybody at this point. She had the elders on her side coming in. She turned against her aunt, killed Sophie. She feels like she's entitled at this point, and then Davina, who used to have all the power and all the control, has nothing now. She can't do anything, so she sees that this is her time to shine and rise up and be as powerful and more powerful than Davina and really make a name for herself.
I guess that could be it. Still, bitch punch. Jeez.
Yeah, but I don't know, you gotta think about what it's like to be in the shadow of like Davina, because the other girls were killed before and Davina was harnessing all their powers and they were just sitting back on the other side, watching whatever they're doing over there. The elders are with them, they're teaching them things, and they're probably down talking Davina. Like, she's working with them, she's working with the vampires, she's working against the witches, and they're filling their heads with all this stuff. So when you come out of it, you're not really going to want to treat her the best. You're going to be like, you betrayed us, fuck you,
You were a non-believer. That's the feeling Monique's given off, the whole "you're a non-believer, you must be purged" sort of feeling. So, about Davina being practically powerless or unable to make any magic work, was this the extent of her skill pre-harvest ritual? Was she just some lowly, weak little girl witch?
I don't know about that, but I definitely feel like everything that happened while she was dead, with the elders and stuff, it was kind of like
Traumatic experience?
Kind of, but it was like a blow to her confidence, and having like all the elders and all these people where you draw your magic from tell you that if you do this, you do that, you betrayed us, that we will make your life a living hell. You're gonna kind of want to not use your powers at that point. So I think it's more that than anything. I don't think she was quite like that pre-harvest ritual.
So I guess while we're on the Davina subject, towards the end, she, after a little nudging from Josh, is his name?
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a few episodes, so
it was refreshing. Nice to see him again.
Yeah, he's not dead. That's nice. But after a little nudging from Josh, she gets her confidence back, and she's practicing lovely, lovely magic, and Monique walks in all shocked and jealous.
Don't forget, it wasn't just Josh that walked.
It was
basically Klaus's. Yeah, wasn't.
It was Marcel.
Marcel's influence. Yeah,
told Josh she needs to get her confidence back.
Yeah,
so that worked.
Yeah, but yeah. So, what was the girl's name again? Not Davina, the other one. I always forget. Monique. So Monique comes in and she sees Davina with all those flowers, and she's just like, oh shit.
Crap.
So I think she's gonna feel sidelined again. She's gonna feel like Davina's more powerful than her. There's gonna be some resentment, jealousy. So I think we're gonna see a little bit of not so friendly witch rivalry there.
Oh, that ought to be interesting. So, we mentioned Marcel. We see Marcel meeting on a rooftop with Thierry. Basically, he's trying to build an army, person by person, to retake the French Quarter and most of the city. Do you think he should keep going, or should he just give up already?
Me personally, I would love to see him just give up. I'm sick of this whole vying for control of the quarter. Like, we're 17 episodes in now? How would you say we were? Yeah,
this is 17.
Yeah, 17 episodes in, and it's been a battle for the city since episode 1. I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, it's getting a little tiresome.
Yeah, I was kind of glad before. I was like, all right, the originals got it. The witches kind of seem different. It's not like they're necessarily gaining control or trying to gain control. They're trying to end the originals. They're trying, make their life hell. They're trying, obviously they want the quarter too, but their ultimate goal is to break up the originals and all that. So that was actually kind of interesting. But now it just seems like we're reverting back to the original story, and it's Marcel versus Klaus and Elijah again. And I mean, the werewolves are involved. Like, that's a little thing now, but
they're there.
Yeah, but it's different because I don't unless Marcel does something like team up with the witches, it's going to be a pretty boring battle. Marcel's going to get stomped. So obviously he can't just him and Thierry go running full steam. Like, he's got to build the army. So the werewolves seem to have aligned with Klaus. So I think they're kind of out of the question at this point. Maybe he'll get one or two of them, but you're going to need witches to deal with the originals, not werewolves. The werewolves are only going to make them sick for a little bit, and not even Klaus. Klaus could withstand the bite, and Klaus could just give his blood to Elijah, and it's done. So werewolves aren't even a threat to the originals.
Not really. They're just an annoyance to Elijah at this point.
Right.
Probably why he wants to leave them out in the first place. They're an annoyance. So, we see early on at the negotiation table, we see Father Kieran just representing the human faction, and he's getting a bit more unhinged. After that, the next time we see him, he's chaining himself in the attic of his church. Good idea? Doesn't work very well, does it?
Not if you're in the room with him.
Exactly.
But if you should know the length of the chain that you just tied the man to, and stay away from within his reach. Like, get out of there. But,
chain is 7 feet long. Stay more than 10 feet away.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know, I'm interested to see where that goes. Because you want to say he's going to die, but the fact that he's still around, and he's been around this long, and they didn't kill him off already, seems to make me think that they're going to find some way. Cami's going to find a way to make him live. That's
kind of a shock, because didn't we predict last episode that he only has like a week?
Yeah, and months have
gone
by.
This is a month later, and he's still... I mean, he's on every kind of medication you can imagine. He's down in pills like he's 90.
Yeah.
But anyway, sticking on the Father Kieran, the hex has really taken its toll on him, and Klaus even says that it changes the brain's basic chemistry, and there's nothing that could be done for him. Do we believe every not Cami person that Father Kieran's basically screwed?
I think they want us to believe that.
Well, of course, they want us to believe that.
Right. Do we believe it? Do I believe it? I don't, because I tend to go the opposite with whatever they want you to think. It's just how I'm conditioned at this point from analyzing shows and stuff like that. Before, when I was just watching them for just pure enjoyment, I didn't analyze it too deep, and certain things would catch me off guard. But now that I'm focusing on things and knowing how the stories are playing out and what to expect, I don't think he's gonna die. I think they're gonna find some kind of way. Cami will find a way, be it a witch that's gonna help cure the actual hex itself, a vampire that's gonna heal the brain with the blood, or who knows, maybe they'll turn him into a vampire or a werewolf. Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, and that'll end things really quickly.
that would. So, on the topic of the family of Father Kieran, Cami there, and
Well, actually,
Marcel.
hold on. Before,
Hmm.
I don't think they could turn him into a werewolf. You have to be born into that, if I'm
Yeah.
correct.
Then
So,
I'm pretty sure there's no turning people into werewolves in this.
yeah,
You're born it or you're not.
yeah. I'm sure that if Doctor Maxfield was still alive,
He'd
uh,
figure out a way.
he'd be able to turn somebody into a werewolf if he wanted to mutate the gene and trigger the curse. But yeah,
Crazy. So yeah, Marcel gets a drunk Cammy into bed. 17 episode. Hasn't he been wanting this since episode 1?
he has, but hasn't Klaus as well?
Klaus has as well, indeed. It's even mentioned by Genevieve later that should she be jealous or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Marcel got it. I'm guessing he's feeling top of the world, don't you think?
Yeah, but they kind of agreed that this was the one-time thing. But then you saw Marcel. But what if?
What if?
And Cammy was just like, no.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but during that whole scene, Genevieve was watching through the Dreamcatcher,
Mm-hmm.
some kind of witchy Dreamcatcher, and Marcel ended up noticing it a little too late and took it with him and smashed it. I'm just curious to see what Genevieve's going to do with that information, whether or not she's going to go to Klaus and Elijah, or if she's going to go directly to Marcel and try to blackmail him.
She could do the blackmail thing, especially because she's sleeping with Klaus and she knows Klaus has a thing for Cammy, so she could use that as ammo later.
Yep.
But with Father Kieran locked up, we have a new human faction leader. Forget her name, but she apparently owns a casino in
Yeah.
New Orleans, and she has the backing of all the high ups, the mayor, the chief of police, all the people involved in the human faction. Now, here's my question about this whole thing: does anybody else just not like her? 'Cause I don't.
Yeah, she seemed kind of like a bitch. She reminded me a lot of what's her, I don't remember her name now. In the Vampire Diaries, season 1, Anna's mother.
Oh yeah, her.
Gave me a lot of that kind of vibe off of her.
Yeah. See, my problem, I just don't like her face.
Yeah, I don't know. She was kind of a bitch, but they gave her temporary stay of power until Father Kieran was well enough. So that's kind of curious now if Father Kieran is going to get better as human and take the faction back over, or if he's going to become a vampire, and I don't think he'll have a seat at the table if that's the case. But
No, because he'll be one of the.
yeah, it definitely
Not-
seems like there's something up with her. There's more than meets the eye. She's a transformer in disguise.
I remember the second scene she showed up when we were watching this earlier. Omi just goes, "Can die. I don't like. Just can she die now, please, someone kill her, rip her head off, twist her, turn her into a vampire. I don't care. She needs to die."
I think that's what they wanted us to feel. So I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of this character.
Yeah. So moving right along here, Elijah throws a party. And this was, I believe, Klaus's suggestion, just to get everybody together, referencing a story of in the 1700s of how the mayor or the governor wanted their help, and he just boozed them up and threw women at them until they agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So Elijah throws a huge party for everybody, invites everybody, the witches, the vampires, the humans,
Even the werewolves.
even the werewolves. But I think we find out that Klaus invited them. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I think he did.
Well, they show up anyway. During this party, people are mingling, all that stuff. Diego winds up getting into a scuffle with Oliver. We find out a bit about Diego's past. He hates the werewolves because they killed his parents. And he was forced to watch his sister bleed out next to him. And the only reason he's alive is because of Marcel.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets into a scuffle with Oliver, who I'll get to in a second. But after this little scuffle, Haley gives a "why don't you just kill him and get it over with" speech. Do you think her little speech that she gave would work as well as it wound up working?
I think that was her intention, but I didn't know where she was going with it at first.
Yeah, me neither. I thought she was serious, like, kill him.
Is she trying to start a war? Like, I don't know. It kind of caught me off guard, but in retrospect now, looking back on it, it was pretty clever. She basically said what exactly would happen. You'd have this all-out war until everybody was dead and nobody would be left standing but probably the originals. Which is not really what they want. They want people to trust them. They want to have this power. They want people to follow them. They don't want to rule an empty city.
Yeah.
So, I think Elijah realized at that point he's got to find a way to make this treaty work. He's got to get everybody together under one roof and be friendly.
Yeah, I agree. So, on this, whatchamacallit? Side note on Oliver, really nothing big. How old would you think Oliver is? 25? Ballpark in it.
23.
23, 25, hitting on a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Davina. Cradle robber.
Yeah, maybe. Just a little bit.
Just a bit. I promised Omi I'd mention that.
He had the hots for Rebecca, and then Rebecca goes away, and he moves to Davina.
Hey, let's admit it. Rebecca looks 16.
No, she did not.
No, I'm kidding. God. She could pass
Me
it
and
for
you were
a
about to fight.
16-year-old.
No, me and you were about to fight. You don't talk about my future ex-girlfriend like that.
How many future ex-girlfriends do you have?
Enough.
Well, anyway, I think the last major point to mention, Klaus, who's ever the schemer, makes a deal with, I have to note here, what's the name of Haley's alpha wolf boy toy?
I don't know. I haven't learned their names yet.
Exactly, me neither. We know Oliver. That's easy.
Yep.
For some reason, he's a memorable character, and we can't figure out why. But I don't.
He
Omi and I
into the
can't
kitchen
remember
naked.
this guy. That might have done it. Anyway, makes a deal with Alpha Wolf Boy Toy, giving him his mother's, well, giving him his biological father's moonlight ring, apparently, in exchange for this Alpha Wolf working with Klaus. He first offers him hybridization, or the Alpha Wolf thinks he's going to be turned into a hybrid, but none of that. So how do you think this is going to work out? Like, what's Klaus's end game here? Is it really a safer place for his daughter, like he mentioned?
I think it's safer than the Bayou for sure.
Well, hell yeah, of course.
But I think his ultimate plan is to create hybrids at this point. I think that's where he's going. He's going to gain the trust of the werewolves, and then he's going to offer them, because you already see that they're scheming in the background, that they want more power. They want to be able to be human all the time and harness their werewolf powers in their human form. Give themselves a 24-hour lethal bite, their strength, their speed, all that while they're in human form, which they have very limited amounts of right now. But I think Klaus's game is he wants to earn their trust and then get them into a position where he can offer them more power. I think that's Klaus's plan right now is to create these hybrids to protect and amass a new army stronger than either a werewolf or a vampire army would be.
Yeah, something that nobody can contest with. Now, here's a question I've probably asked before, and I just can't remember. Why can't Klaus make new hybrids himself?
He can now, but it requires Haley. The reason before was it required the blood of the doppelganger.
Oh, right.
Which Elena is now a vampire.
So it doesn't work anymore.
And Catherine is
dead,
outside of a body right now. And
oh yeah, we don't know where she is.
Yeah. So
it's interesting.
Yeah.
So He needs Haley now, but he can make hybrids.
He needs the blood from his daughter Haley, which Haley's carrying, to create the hybrid. So he can, but it's just a matter of extracting the blood.
Yep. Well, that's his thing. He has to hope his daughter likes him, because all of those hybrids will be sired to his daughter.
Right.
Oh boy. But anyway, did anything else major happen this episode that we need to talk about?
No, I don't believe so. Tiari definitely, he's on board with Marcel. But as he said, it's gonna take more than a sharp tongue and words to do this. So I don't know.
Anyway,
it's interesting. So basically, I think what we're gonna end up seeing coming soon is Kieran is either gonna come back as a vampire, or he's gonna get healed, and I think we're gonna start hearing the idea of hybrids soon. My question is, where is the white oak stake now?
Good question. What did they do with it?
Yeah.
Klaus wouldn't have let that go.
No, unless Rebecca took it with her.
I doubt he would have let her take it.
Maybe he didn't know she took it.
Maybe he didn't. You know, you're right. He could go... I mean, really, all that's left in his life to worry about is Elijah. If he ever wanted to kill. So...
Yeah, but they're kind of getting along. And then I love that scene right at the end where Klaus has been painting this brand new painting the whole episode. And then he takes, and it looks like he's either destroying it or he's drawing a brand new painting over it. And then the final reveal of the painting is he added a full moon into it. And it was right around the time when the werewolves had agreed to join, and it was just like Klaus is really embracing his werewolf family now, something he's neglected for centuries.
1,000 years.
Yeah.
For a millennia, literally. So, well, on that, Dom, where can the people find you?
Do we not have a preview for next episode?
Oh, crap. Yeah, you know what? We do. Not really. All we have is the next episode is episode 18, and it's called The Big Uneasy.
The Big Uneasy?
That's all we can find about it, unfortunately. I searched, what do you call it? Searched the wikis, I searched Google, I searched many places. There was no synopsis. So, unfortunately. We got pooped. There have been no synopsis for, like, the last 5 episodes, for, like, every show. I don't know what the hell's going on. Did they just stop giving them out?
Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, so... Stuff. Oh, and, yeah. My thing is, everybody signs that treaty at the end, so peace goes through.
The only thing that I see on it right now, I'm looking, it says, will there be peace or be blood? That's our synopsis.
Both!
So, yeah, I think there'll be some peace and some blood.
Alright, so now that we got through that gigantic load of nothing, Dom, where can the people find you and your hat?
You can find my hat on my head. It's pretty much always there. But you can find me down below at Phenomedom, Phenomedom, on the Twitters.
On the Twitters. You can find me below at Thilladren, also on the Twitters, Thilladren. You can find all of us and all of these lovely shows that we do on tvcaptive.com, as well as Facebook, Gmail, Google+, Twitter, as the ASOTV podcast.
And here on YouTube.
And right here on YouTube. I thought I said YouTube. But anyway, send us your questions if you have any. Leave a comment, leave a like, email us. We don't care. But I've been your host, Mike, and until next time, bye.
See you guys later.
Farewell! I was going to say have a lovely evening, but people could watch this in the morning, so that just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still nighttime.
Yep.
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 Nope.